What's up, everyone?
It's Dani
and Nick.
Today we are going to be talking about our first attempt at doing a little travel diary. We were going to take you behind the scenes, but it was a little too cold to have a vlog camera out and also try to get everything that we were getting on our shot list. So we're just going to talk a little bit about what we have learned and what might be helpful to someone who is thinking about making their first little travel diary. Just so you know, this isn't a big extreme travel diary. We are in the little town that is near us and there's not much to do, so it doesn't have to be extreme to be considered a travel diary. Other people come here. It's a destination that's historic and there's things to do here and lots of museums, so it doesn't have to be a destination.
So with our first attempt at our first travel diary, I think it was relatively a success. However, I will say that, you know, you see these great travel diaries on the internet and like on YouTube and you're like, oh, like I want to do that, and it's so much harder than it like seems initially. So I would say, like, for us this is great practice, and I would say, like, if you're interested in doing that, like, go out, whether that's like your local town square, wherever it is, go practice so that when you actually are in these crazy cool locations, you can actually make a great video versus, like, you know, because you practice. But if you didn't practice, you'll get there and you might be wondering what to shoot. So this is good practice for us, and I'm excited about it.
Let's talk about things that we learned while filming our first travel diary. Number one,
make sure you understand the time limitations on the parking area.
Number two, it's way harder than you think. We are filming at a small location with not many things to do around here, so it was really hard to come up with a bunch of ideas to make it look like there were more than there was to do. And it was also really cold, so dress well and be prepared to go inside a lot of places and waste a lot of time just to warm up.
Number three, I didn't think about anything to say.
Number three, be prepared. We were prepared because we created a shot list, which was very helpful. Even though we left it in the car, we pretty much remembered everything.
Oh, maybe scout the location beforehand, even if you're familiar with it, just to kind of get the visuals and see, like, in person how you're gonna want the shots to look.
Yeah, we did that in the beginning. We walked around before we tried to shoot anything, which was really helpful, but it would have been more helpful to just come and walk on a day that we weren't filming and then come back and film once we had a better idea, because our shot list was based off of the internet and the little that we knew about being here.
Yeah. It just was really hard for us because it was so cold today. Yeah. And we're not used to, like, you know, 20-something degree weather.
But we wanted to have really good footage while we're on our trips, so we wanted to practice as much as we could while we're home. And it's just hard because nothing seems interesting to you because you're here all the time, so it's like everything's boring. I know that other people come here and visit here and they don't think it's boring, but when you live somewhere it's not as exciting, so it's hard to come up with ideas when everything is just like the normal to you.
Right. It's like, oh, why would I ever want to put this in, you know, in the video, because it's like, so, you know, you're so used to it. But like to other people it might be different, but for something like this it's like you got to think about somebody else's perspective that's not been here. And it's easy to do that when you're traveling because guess what, you haven't been there, but when you live there it's like, oh, it's just normal.
I know another helpful tip. We picked out the song that we were going to use before we started filming, and that was extremely helpful because the whole time that we were filming I had that beat going in my head so I could plan out everything. It would be really hard, don't you think, Nicholas, to have done the shooting and then try to put it to the song? Yeah, especially the song we picked, because there were so many different sections of beats that we did specific things for. So it was really helpful to have picked the song out and played it a couple times so that it was in my head while we were shooting. Tip number whatever we're on, do not order hot chocolate with almond milk. It was disgusting. Nicholas, what was your favorite thing about today doing our first official video?
Just experimenting with the different shots and like actually getting a feel for what it's like to shoot those videos. I mean, you have it in your head, but to actually do it is a completely different animal all by itself.
I thought you were gonna say lunch.
Hey, sushi and coffee were the second favorite.
I think my favorite thing about filming today was that I've had these ideas about doing this specific shoot and like the things that were on our shot list, and bringing them to life and seeing that they actually, well, the ones that turned out good were good ideas. And I don't know, it just makes you feel very accomplished in your creativity when you have an idea and then see it come to life. And then the opposite as well, it was also good to see ideas that didn't work out, because now we know that we wouldn't use that in the future. The hardest thing was still just being comfortable with people seeing you with a camera. It was really weird. People were definitely giving us those looks like, what are you doing? I wonder who you are and what you're doing. And I just don't quite feel comfortable yet with that. What do you think, Nicholas?
Yeah, I mean, part of me was very uncomfortable, but then at the same time, like, just, you know, pretend you're famous and then it's not weird.
Because they don't know who we are. But just like, I wanted to film in the coffee shop with the guy like handing me the coffee and making it a whole story, as we like to make it make sense to you guys. We just didn't feel comfortable bringing out the camera in front of everyone at the coffee shop. We need to overcome that, because that will only make us better and more comfortable in front of the camera, in front of other people.
Well, especially when you're using the 1DX, you're breaking out this like massive camera and people are like, what's going on? Even
and with the Ronin.
Yeah, and the Ronin. And even when you're filming outside of somebody's shop, like you'll see in like some of the fast segments.
Look through.
We do. Like
the window.
There was people looking through the window, but there was like an owner that walked into her shop and like she kind of gave us this dirty look too. Like, why are you filming my store? Yeah,
and you would think that they would like it because we're promoting them, but I guess they want us to ask first. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe down below, and leave a comment with something that you learned while filming your first travel diary.
And we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
You gotta listen up, listen up. There's not a thing that I can't get from you.